It's like I come along earlier into it with a spray can, put all the colours on. Okay, as has been the story, every time I've come to Padley Gorge, I'm taking photographs before I even enter, you know, the official past the gates area of it. And I'll show you this one. I spotted these trees, no leaves on them, falling into each other, kind of embracing. Let's get around a bit. And with the colour behind them, that's over on the far bank, that is, which means something like a 50mm is going to make a good use of the depth of field. It's going to blur it out a little bit. I can make it kind of mystical. So this is a shot that I'm going to do, and I know I'm going to mess about with it in Lightroom and try and give it a kind of enchanted feel, if that makes sense. 50mm lens, probably again shallow depth of field. I don't want that super focused at the back, you know. I don't want it super sharp. I want it nice and blurry. Let these embracing trees take up the attention. So let's see how that works out. I'll tell you what, with this one, I will show you on the camera, but most of the trip today I think I'm just going to be walking through and shooting images, because it's busy here. Didn't come in super early. I was lucky to get a parking spot. Anyway, to the camera. Okay, hopefully you're all going to agree with me that looks absolutely wonderful. Look at this background here. Oh, it's just all the colours. It's all the colours. Going to go with about, I don't know, half a second, just because I need a bit of light, because it is quite overcast today. And that's another thing, that I don't need supersonic light. It always helps, but here you're going to get compositions no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to take this shot now, maybe a couple of others, and we'll see how they work out. So it's time to go down a wet bank to the brook. It's not as angry as it was the last time I was here. It was just after a big storm, but there's plenty of water running through. It's certainly having a good old chatter. So I'm going to get down there, see if I can get some good cascades, see how the framing of the trees, to see if I can find rocks with lots of leaves on. So there you go, that's the plan. The other thing is, I've got to pack all my stuff away, because I invariably fall down, and I really banged my arm up last time. I don't want to damage the camera. Myself, we've got the NHS camera, I have to take it for repairs and pay for it. Here we go. Okay, so got to the bottom of the bank without killing myself. It's beautiful here. I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying it's beautiful. I might have to edit some beautifuls out, but it really is. And I'm not surrounded by bugs, which is nice, so I can really just sit and concentrate. Maybe not concentrate, just let my mind flow with it. Does that sound too poncy? But it does. I can just relax and follow the brook and look at the leaves and the colours, and just start putting the compositions together in my head. Then look at them on the camera. So this is just near the top of the brook at Padley Gorge. I've come about, I don't know, 100 yards down, and the cascades are really starting to come into their own now. Like I say, last time I came very angry, a lot of water flow, and I will put some of those pictures up. But it's just a little bit more gentle today. It's still got some volume to it, but I think I'll be able to produce some interesting shots with the water that take in all of the foliage around them. So I'll show you on the camera some of the colours that I'm seeing and how I want to get them in the shot. Here's a good example. Loving these beautiful colours here. There's a little bit of water flow there. Now what I'm going to do is probably cut off about there. I'm going to keep the interest to that, just to balance this out, and I'm going to go for that there. I'll show you on the camera. Bear with me. So this is what I've got set up at the moment. Ignore the technical details, it's on the camera. This is just so I can show you, but look how vibrant it is. you know, already absolutely gorgeous. This bit of water there, see, I haven't gone right the way across, and then just a little bit of the leaf fall here. Gorgeous. Let's see how that works out, and then if I take any more shots at this area, I'll put those up as well. Lost another piece of kit. The brand new DJI mic I bought, the receiver fell off my phone. Could be anywhere now. Man, 300 quid down the toilet. Oh well, I digress. Let's talk about photography. I've done this before when I broke a lens. I try and keep a positive mental attitude. I've come up from the brook. It's got fantastic shots everywhere, but I thought, you know what, it's just too much. I'm going to stay there all day. So I've come up from it, and the riot of colours is happening right in front of me and over here. But I've got a tiny little intimate shot that as I came up the bank, I saw this little sapling growing with all different coloured leaves, and it's just in front of a rock. I'm going to show it in a second, trying to build it up a bit. But it's these little intimate shots that I think really make the day. So we've got the fantastic water shots, we've got the big trees and all the riotous colour, but then you see this little sapling by this mossy rock. Well, you tell me what you think. So here's my little sapling. I bet you can barely see that it is actually a tree with all the coloured leaves beneath it. Let's bring this down. There you go, and you can see it against that rock there, which itself is an interesting shape. There's a few leaves have dropped on it. Gorgeous. So I'll show you that framed up. Okay, so to the camera. Let's get in there. And you can see I've got the 50mm on, and that's because I know I'm going to get a really sharp image, and I'm going to be able to blur out the background nicely, because I want this to take this sapling and the rock to take all of the attention. I'm gonna just get a bit more light into that. I've got to watch out. You can I don't know if you can see, it's a bit breezy and the leaves are bouncing. There you go. I don't know if you can see that right now. So it's gonna have to be a faster shutter speed, just to, you know, catch that moment in time. I don't need a long exposure on this anyway, so that's absolutely fine. But I just want to make sure it's absolutely crystal, that there's no blurring. Here it comes. Well, it's time to go home. It's approaching midday. I've got things to do. I would like to come back here again, but I may have just struck gold, and you know, this is as good as it's going to get now. But what a fantastic morning. Now I'm going to edit in some of the footage from the previous visits, so hope you'll forgive me for that, but I think some of it's worth looking at. And thanks as ever for following. Like, share, subscribe. See you for the next one.